Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're back again, ready to unpack some really interesting material and pull out those key insights just for you.
Absolutely.
Today we're focusing on the world of best practices within organizations. It's all about benchmarking and learning, really.
That's right. We've got a great set of case studies here. They came out of the best practices internal competition.
And these are curated by Best Practices Improvement Resources, that's bpir.com in New Zealand, and also the PIQC Institute of Quality in Pakistan.
Yeah, organizations that really focus on finding and sharing what actually works, out there in the real world.
So we're looking at actual examples, right? Organizations that have really nailed certain processes or initiatives.
Exactly. Concrete examples. We get to see the how and the why behind their success and, crucially, the impact these practices are having. It's like getting a peek behind the curtain at excellence in action.
Okay, let's frame this for everyone listening. Our mission today, if you will, is to give you a kind of curated tour of these different best practices.
Yeah, hopefully sparking some ideas.
Exactly. Maybe inspire you to think, hey, what could we do in our organization? Or even in your own work.
Yeah.
We've got examples from different sectors tackling all sorts of challenges.
And the variety is what's really valuable, I think. It's not just one industry, not just one type of problem.
Right.
We're talking digital transformation, efficiency boosts, community building, even changing an organization's whole culture.
Yeah.
It shows that striving for excellence, well, it happens everywhere.
Okay. Let's kick off then. First stop, Dubai in the UAE. We're looking at the My Food initiative from the Dubai municipality. Sounds very digital.
It is, yeah. Very forward-thinking. You have to remember, Dubai is a major hub, lots of food imports, so ensuring food safety is a massive task.
Huge, I imagine.
Right. And My Food is basically their operational practice for managing this. They've digitized the entire food safety process.
Entire process. So what does that actually cover? Does it track food right from the farm?
Not quite from the farm gate. No, it doesn't directly manage the food production itself, but its scope is still really broad.
Right.
It handles, the training and certification for food handlers, issuing permits for food events, even the safety standards for the vehicles transporting food. So it's the whole regulatory framework, essentially, but digital.
Interesting. So why the big shift? What were the problems they were trying to solve with this digital approach?
Well, think about the complexity. Managing food safety in such a fast-paced, import-heavy city, it's tough.
Yeah, the volume alone must be incredible.
Exactly. The volume, keeping track of certifications, ensuring consistent standards everywhere. Going digital was about efficiency, first and foremost. Better data, and moving towards preventing problems, not just reacting.
Proactive, okay.
Right. And it fits with Dubai's whole digital governance strategy. The rollout involved, proper change management, retraining staff, and they used agile methods so they could adapt as they went.
So what makes it pioneering? What are the really innovative bits here?
Well, a few things. First, they claim it's the world's first digital transformation in food safety governance that covers such a wide scope. Training, permits, transport, all in one system.
Okay.
Second, it's that shift from reactive to predictive. Using data analytics to anticipate risks.
Predictive food safety. That sounds pretty sophisticated. How does that actually work?
Well, imagine all the data they collect, training records, permits, inspection results, loads of it.
Right.
By using big data analytics, maybe some AI, the system can spot patterns, potential risks you wouldn't normally see. Like it could flag businesses that need closer watching based on past data, or even tailor training. And integrating with other systems, like the Road Transport Authority, helps monitor food transport much better.
Wow. That's really leveraging the data. So what about results? Has this tech actually delivered tangible benefits?
Oh yeah, big time, both operationally and financially. On the operational side, training and certification time cut from 3 days down to just 1.
3 days to 1. That's huge.
It is. And get this, they eliminated over 6,000 annual office visits. Think of the time saved for businesses.
Definitely streamlines things.
And overall, better traceability, better compliance. It just works better.
And the money side. Any cost savings?
Absolutely. A 55% cost reduction for food permits, 72% for training permits.
It's 72%. Wow.
Yeah. Plus environmental benefits, a 52-ton cut in their carbon footprint. And for the businesses using the system, their compliance costs dropped by 62%.
Incredible figures.
Yeah.
It really sounds like a win-win-win. More efficient, cheaper, greener, easier for businesses.
It really does seem that way.
Right.
And it's gotten noticed, received awards for digital innovation, stakeholder feedback, very positive.
Good to hear.
And they're not stopping. They have regular reviews, looking to improve, planning more AI integration, expanding the platform, continuous improvement.
Okay, fascinating stuff from Dubai. Let's shift gears now. We're heading to Pakistan, looking at the Shaukat Khan Memorial Trust SKMT. They developed something called the Temperature and Humidity Monitoring Device, or THMD. Sounds very specific.
It is, yeah. SKMT, they run hospitals and diagnostic centers across Pakistan. Really well respected.
Right.
And this THMD system, the need for it, originally came from the pharmacy in their Karachi Diagnostic Center.
The pharmacy. Why?
They needed a reliable way to track temperature and humidity for their medicines, constantly, especially after hours, to make sure the drugs stay safe and effective.
Critical in a pharmacy, definitely.
Exactly. So the Central Biomedical Department at SKMT, they took on the challenge.
So, wait, they didn't just buy something off the shelf, they decided to build it themselves.
That's right. The main reason. Cost.
Ah.
They looked at the commercial systems, and apparently they were just way too expensive, especially considering how many places they needed to monitor across their facilities.
Right. If you need dozens or hundreds, that adds up fast.
Precisely. So they used their own in-house biomedical and IT teams, part of their R&D effort to develop something specific to their needs and budget. Fits with their whole philanthropic mission, too.
Very resourceful.
Yeah.
So what exactly does this THMD system monitor, and where do they use it?
Well, temperature and humidity, obviously. And they use it in all sorts of sensitive spots. Medication storage, fridges, freezers, incubators, rooms with delicate equipment, server rooms which definitely need stable conditions labs. Basically anywhere the environment needs to be tightly controlled.
Makes sense. Protect the supplies, the equipment, ensure patient safety.
Exactly. Avoid costly losses, maintain quality.
So how did they go about implementing this in-house system? What was the process?
They started with the pharmacy's needs, then designed and built a couple of prototypes.
Okay.
They got user feedback along the way, did thorough risk assessments, used a method called FMEA, Failure Mode Effect Analysis, with a team from different departments.
Smart. Catch potential problems early.
Right. They used Arduino software, which is pretty common for this kind of electronics prototyping. And crucially, they linked it into their existing hospital management system.
Integration. So it's not standalone.
No, and that's key because it means real-time alerts, SMS, email go out if things go outside the set limits. They're rolling it out trust-wide now, about 150 devices deployed, aiming for around 350 total.
Okay, so what's the innovation here? Temperature monitoring exists, right? What makes SKMT's system special?
Well, you're right. The basic concept isn't new, but their THMD has features that are innovative in their context. Remember the cost issue. They couldn't find an affordable commercial solution that did everything they needed.
Right.
Their system gives real-time monitoring with multiple alerts, text, email, a buzzer, even a red light. Centralized monitoring over the network, color-coded display showing deviations. Easy data logging, export to PDF, CSV, direct printing.
Sounds comprehensive.
It is, and it's versatile. They can use it in different areas, move it around. The second version added things like direct network connection, a mute button for the buzzer, better sensors, even alerts if it gets disconnected from the network. Very tailored.
So tailored and much cheaper. How has it performed? What benefits are they seeing?
The financial side is pretty stark. Their device costs maybe 10,000 Pakistani rupees. The commercial ones, around 100,000.
Wow, that's a tenfold difference.
Roughly, yeah. Plus, no extra software costs because it uses their existing hospital system, and they handle maintenance themselves. Huge savings.
And operationally?
Big improvement. It replaced manual logging, someone writing things down on paper once a shift.
Which isn't ideal, really. Things can change quickly.
Exactly. Now they have continuous real-time data, better accuracy, much faster response if something goes wrong. Communication between departments improved too. And the users, 100% positive feedback, apparently.
Fantastic result.
Yeah.
100% satisfaction is hard to argue with. And any external recognition.
Yes. Besides the user feedback, SKMT itself won a Corporate Excellence Award from the Management Association of Pakistan in 2022, and this in-house tech was highlighted as a key reason.
Great validation.
Definitely. And they keep reviewing it, getting feedback, planning improvements, like extending it to freezers, better sensors, maybe even plasma monitoring down the line. Target 2025. Always improving.
Okay, switching gears again. Our next case study takes us to Sri Lanka. Eco-Earth Engineering and their build-it-yourself practice. This sounds more community-focused.
It is, very much so. Eco-Earth Engineering started up during Sri Lanka's economic crisis, which really hit construction hard. Material costs, fuel costs. They just shot up.
Making housing unaffordable for many, I guess.
Exactly. Especially low to middle income families. So EcoEarth's practice is about on-site brick production. They use portable, eco-friendly machines that make bricks from earth.
Earth bricks, using local soil.
Precisely. It's aimed at rural families, enabling them to make their own building materials affordably and sustainably, using local soil and their own labor. Self-reliant construction.
So instead of buying expensive bricks that need transporting, they make them right there on the building site.
That's the core idea. They got the basic tech from the NERD Center, that's Sri Lanka's National Engineering Research and Development Center. Then they tweaked the machine, made it more efficient, a manual one-person operation.
Simple and effective.
Yeah. They target rural areas with plenty of soil, provide training, and they have this really interesting machine rental model.
Renting a brick machine. That is clever.
Isn't it? Initially, they even offered it free to low-income families and temples, just to get it out there and make it accessible. It lowers that big upfront cost barrier.
Definitely democratizes access.
Totally. And they're collaborating with others, like the National Cleaner Production Center, looking into adding waste materials like fly ash into the bricks, making them even greener. The whole thing is about empowering people, reducing reliance on costly, sometimes environmentally damaging traditional methods.
So, besides making bricks on site, what else is innovative about their approach?
Well, the on-site production itself cuts out the energy used in traditional brick firing and all the transport costs and emissions.
Big savings there.
Huge. The rental model is a key innovation for affordability. Then there's their machine-to-wall process using fresh bricks almost immediately, which reduces damage. They even have a vertical drying method that saves space.
Efficient.
Yeah, and building directly with the fresh bricks is apparently more precise, too. They even see potential in tourism, building eco-cabanas, that kind of thing.
So what's the impact been for the families using this?
Well, non-financially, they report people feel more motivated, more satisfied building their own homes, and it's faster. They reckon a small house roof can be done in about 3 weeks, making around 200 bricks a day.
Pretty good pace.
And financially, they estimate about a 30% cut in overall construction costs compared to conventional methods. That makes a massive difference to affordability.
30% is significant.
Absolutely. Plus, earth bricks are naturally insulating, so homes stay cooler, less need for air conditioning, simpler wiring and plastering too, apparently. And the process itself, learnable in a couple of hours, they say. Very user-friendly.
Sounds incredibly empowering and sustainable. Has it gained any recognition?
It has. They really push the cost and resource efficiency, the quality, the reduced waste, the time and labor savings, and obviously the empowerment angle.
And the green credentials.
Definitely. Minimal emissions, gravity press machine, uses local soil, no long drying time needed. They're looking at circular economy principles, using waste. That got them praise at an international circular economy conference in 2023.
Nice.
And they've had good feedback locally from construction firms and customers about the rental model and how easy the training is. They've got plans for model houses with solar roofs, ongoing research into using different waste materials with universities, always pushing forward.
Right. Our final set of examples takes us back to Pakistan. 2 quite different ones. First, Modernage Public School and College and their Interfaith Harmony Initiative. This feels like it tackles a really vital social issue.
It really does. Modernage is a major school in Abbottabad. Their initiative is this comprehensive strategy, educational and social, aimed right at tackling religious and sectarian polarization. That's a big challenge in Pakistan, given its diversity.
So inside a school, what does this actually look like? What do they do?
It's really woven into the fabric of the school. It's in the curriculum, from the youngest kids right up to grade 12. They have specific inclusive policies.
Okay.
A big part is their annual Interfaith Harmony celebration. Students, staff, parents, community members, all faiths coming together. They also do youth exchange programs with other countries to broaden horizons.
Fostering understanding.
Exactly. The whole goal is to build a culture of inclusion, respect, throughout the entire school community and beyond.
Sounds like a serious long-term commitment. When did they start this?
Actually, way back in 1998. It was a response to rising polarization at the time.
98. Wow. Over 25 years.
Yeah. Spearheaded by the college council and the principal, Abdul Wahid Mir. Started with the annual event, then expanded curriculum changes, revising admission and hiring to ensure minority representation, providing ethics teachers for non-Muslim students, lots of staff training.
That's thorough.
And they haven't shied away from challenges. They've engaged with radical groups through dialogue, invited prominent scholars from different backgrounds to speak, really proactive.
That takes courage. So what's the innovation in this school setting?
I think it's the sheer comprehensiveness and how proactive it is, tackling such a sensitive issue head-on within education, especially in Pakistan's context.
Right.
It's multifaceted curriculum, yes, but also practical stuff. Visits, games, research projects, bringing different students together. And it was developed by Modernage for their context, not just copied from somewhere else. They were pioneers in Abbottabad for this kind of thing.
And the impact. After 25 years, what have they seen?
Really significant positive effects, higher satisfaction across the board. Students, staff, parents at annual celebration grew from 25 people in 98 to over 250 in 2023.
Wow.
Parent surveys show high levels of students feeling welcomed, safe, able to resolve conflicts, over 80% positive on those metrics recently. The exchange programs, clear impact on students' perspectives. They hold regular forums, lectures, their social media reaches millions, local papers cover them.
And the bottom line.
Perhaps the most striking thing, they report 0 incidents of religious intolerance across all 6 of their campuses. That's remarkable. And while it's not the main goal, this inclusive reputation attracts a diverse student body and staff, making them a preferred school.
Truly inspiring. An educational institution making a real difference in fostering harmony. Any external recognition for this?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. When they compared themselves to other local efforts, their long-term institutional approach stood out. The principal won a major award, the Sir Syed Ahmad Excellence in Education Award in 2013, specifically for this work.
Well-deserved, it sounds like.
Seems so. He's also involved in other related organizations. The school gets recognition from religious communities, the city. Other schools actually look to them for guidance on inclusive education now. There are positive newspaper reports, even a great testimonial from a long-serving Christian staff member about the respectful environment.
Fantastic. Okay, our very last case study now. Staying in Pakistan, but moving to the textile industry with iTextiles Private Limited and their value creation model. Sounds more business-focused.
It is, yes. iTextiles operates in Pakistan's huge textile sector. Their best practice is really a managerial strategy, a way of thinking they call their value creation model. It's embedded in their culture, used across the business.
Okay.
And basically it's about using consumer insights to drive innovation in fabrics, creating value for everyone in the chain.
The Pakistani textile industry is massive, but you hear about challenges too. What was iTextiles trying to address with this model?
Yeah, traditionally, the industry often worked quite conventionally. Sometimes there was a gap between producers and what international brands or consumers actually wanted.
Leading to maybe losing appeal in global markets?
Potentially, yeah. iTextiles saw this gap. They worked with international suppliers to bring in a more innovation-led model, focused squarely on the end consumer.
So how does this value creation model work day to day at iTextiles? What do they actually do?
Well, they adapted DuPont's business model back in 2013. Key to it is top management really driving it, leading by example, ensuring great communication internally and with stakeholders.
Culture change from the top.
Exactly. Every employee is seen as part of this value creation, and the company's built its reputation on this process.
So what makes it innovative for that industry in Pakistan? Is it unique there?
iTextile says they're the only marketing company in Pakistan really doing this so holistically, allows continuous improvement. Their team actively gathers consumer insights from digital trends, travel, trade shows, R&D, talking to suppliers and brands.
Gathering intelligence.
Right. Then they work super closely with their mill partners, management, production, marketing, commercial teams. They feed them the insights, give technical support to develop new products.
Bridging the gap.
Precisely. They connect global suppliers, global brands, and local mills, creating value at every step. A big push has been on performance textiles, things like comfort, durability, sustainability, protection, what consumers increasingly want.
Smart. Focusing on added value. What results have they seen from this model?
Positive results, both financially and operationally. They use this example, a value chain model for a pair of jeans, to show where innovation can add value for consumers and brands. They've been involved in developing all sorts of performance products, bulletproof jackets, tough biker jeans using hemp fiber, special chemical finishes. They've gained more trust from global raw material suppliers who see them as key partners in Pakistan.
So they help bring international innovation into the local market.
And crucially, they provide technical backup so local mills can actually make products that meet tough European and U.S. standards. Their chemical business uses the same model successfully too.
The wider impact?
They feel they've played a big part in shifting the Pakistani industry towards being more innovation-focused, more consumer-aware, and you can see it in the numbers, the global suppliers they work with, the brands they represent. Those numbers have grown significantly over the years. It shows the model's working and gaining traction.
So it's not just about selling. It's about being a strategic partner, bringing market knowledge, technical know-how to the whole system. Has this been formally recognized?
Well, they see the growing trust of global brands in Pakistani textiles as key validation. They've helped big names like Invista, DuPont, the Al-Waysira company promote their stuff in Pakistan and globally.
Actions speak louder than words sometimes.
Exactly. They don't mention a formal external benchmark for the whole model, but they stress it's constantly evolving through internal learning. But significantly, major textile universities in Pakistan, they're now teaching this value creation concept, and they're asking iTextiles for input on R&D. That's huge recognition.
Yeah, influencing the next generation.
Right. And their chemical business success with clear growth targets using the same model, that also backs it up. So as we wrap up this deep dive, looking back at all these case studies, what really jumps out is just how diverse they are.
Totally. From, citywide digital food safety in Dubai
To in-house medical tech in Pakistan, sustainable DIY housing in Sri Lanka.
That amazing long-term interfaith work in a school, and then a value creation model transforming a whole industry sector. Really different scales and focuses.
But the common thread, I think, is that all these organizations, they didn't just wait for change. They proactively looked for ways to improve, defined a clear practice, and then really implemented it to get results. Measurable change.
Absolutely. It's not just having a good idea, it's the execution. Understand the context, tailoring the solution.
And that crucial piece, continuous review and refinement, always looking to get better. These examples really give us valuable insights into how different places are tackling unique challenges and getting real results.
So for everyone listening, we really hope these stories have sparked some thinking. Reflecting on the principles, the different strategies we've talked about.
Yeah, maybe asking, how could something like that apply where I work? What could we adapt or learn?
It really comes down to that, doesn't it? Which leads us to our final thought.
Among all these varied approaches, digital transformation, in-house innovation, community empowerment, social harmony, market value creation, which one resonates most? Which sparks an idea for your organization's next best practice?
Definitely something to chew on.